Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Fullest Podcast. I'm your host, Nikki Bostwick, and today I'm here with Martha Soffer, who is the founder of Surya Spa. Hi, Martha.
Hello, how are you?
Good. I have obviously had you on before, so for those of you that haven't heard our previous podcast, it gives you guys like a great introduction into Martha and her background and her story into starting Surya Spa. And I'm sure we'll talk about it a little bit here today, but I'm really excited to kind of get into specifics. I love having guests on for like the second time because I feel like it's an opportunity for us to really like get into questions that a lot of people might have in terms of specific conditions they have maybe. And you support so many people on a wide range of levels, from fertility to like their pregnancy and postpartum journey to different health conditions that they have. And Surya Spa is just such a wonderful spa to go to visit, but it's also an opportunity to really dive into the Ayurvedic lifestyle and work with you one-on-one, and you offer sessions. So I often get like questions from people a lot about my journey too. You know, postpartum, I'm always like, oh my gosh, you need to go, do the mother baby, you need to go do this. But I feel like lately I've gotten a lot of questions around Hashimoto's because I healed mine naturally, and I don't have any antibodies currently, but I stay up to date. But I'm always wondering, like, I just wanted to kind of dive in, like, if someone wants deeper work, how, like, talk to us about your process and how someone can come to someone like you rather than go see maybe a traditional doctor.
One of the things that is so beautiful about Ayurveda, we put like 9 stages of disease. Yeah. So normally between 1 and 4, you cannot diagnose it. You cannot not having the starting. It's just the beginning. So when you actually touch your pulse and you can see what is the imbalance. And then when you start to going for more of the 4, you're on the 5 or 6, you're starting to have some symptoms. And then when you go up to like 7, 8, 9, then that's when it's just a disease. So now from there, it's just more difficult to go and help someone. So for example, with you, I want to use you an example, and I would love to ask you, in this case, you probably from 1 to 4, did you knew that something was happening or not?
I was, yes, because well, maybe not. I was having symptoms of being tired and hair loss.
Uh-huh.
So that's probably like later, right?
That's what you're already having symptoms. But before of that, did you and that's what Ayurveda is so beautiful. That's where when we do the pulse and we go like, oh, your vata is getting out of balance because your hair is getting your I can tell you what is happening. Are you not be having regular food at the time that you need to, because that's like kind of the one of the vata conditions, not being regular, not eating at the same time, not like that's the tendency of the vata people, yeah, to work a lot. We like to do a lot of things at the same time. And when that gets out of balance, and then we continue letting go balance and letting, like, I don't know if it was in your case, but most of the cases I see with people with hypo or hyper or Hashimoto's is that people that didn't start living with nature. Yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that's Ayurveda that is so beautiful. That is the interrelation of nature and the body and the human being. So when you live with that and then you start working with nature, then the body is gonna work wonderful. And it's so easy to look at the different when it's imbalanced. For example, in Vata, it probably happened to you that one of the manifestations was like maybe you were feeling hands and feet that they were cold.
Yes. Yes.
And most people have them and they just think, oh, that's normal. That's not normal. That's not normal.
Yes.
So that is like when I'm telling you, that's when the body starts telling you you are imbalanced. Do something. That's when Ayurveda is so beautiful, because what is so beautiful about this knowledge is that it was cognized by seers. like the Ayurveda had 365 different surgeries, different procedures to do surgeries. They have things for the psychology, there's things for the mind, that they were ready 3000 BC.
Wait,
So
so they
when
have different procedures? Like, you mean more like rituals or like surgeries? Oh
surgeries.
my gosh, tell us about them. I mean, there's
Well, there,
3,000, so we can't
yes,
talk about all of them, but like, tell us a little bit.
there is not much to that I had found, but I had found in different texts where they talk about, they have the three different 365, I think so, 365 different procedures of surgery where they actually open the body, and when they needed to fix it and then they close it again, and they did that 3000 years ago. When then what, so which was so beautiful that they have all, and they have psychology, and it's just like really an amazing of the state of the manas, the mind, and how to, through meditation, through yoga, that's why all this exists, to be able, because it was just cognized. So it was, when you practice this and you put all these different things in your life, then you're not going to get to the 8 or 9 place of stage disease.
Hmm.
That's more difficult to reverse that.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that it cannot be done. It can be done, but I'm sure, like when you had the Hashimoto's, then what did you have to do? It was a long time to be able to reverse it. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
and all of you have to have a lot of discipline,
Discipline. It's a lot of discipline and
a lot of discipline.
consistency. Yeah.
So then you said it, consistency and discipline. This is the things that get out of balance in a vata. And vata, which is, we can talk about the vata, the pitta, and the
Yeah. Let's
kapha. For
talk about it.
that doesn't know, um, that's the elements. That's how Ayurveda sees the everything, nature and the body. So, like I said before, the interaction between the nature and the body. So, the seasons. So, how does it work? So, the Vata, which is the most important one of the Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. So, the Vata, being the most important one, is the one that you really have to be more control. Because if you don't control Vata is the wind, is the air, is the space. So it's moving. So if you don't control things that are moving, they're going to move the kapha and the pitta out of balance. So
Wow.
that's why it's important to always see if I'm having too many thoughts. If I can, this is the characteristics of Vata people. I'm too thin. I cannot put weight in myself. I'm having cold hands, cold feet. I'm not eating at regular times. My skin is dry. These are the characteristics of people that are thin, they are vata. So, and then it's also the vata is in charge of the movement in the body. So if the vata people are doing too much, and the funny thing, which I don't understand, that there is a tendency of the vata people to like vata food, the pitta people to like pitta food, and the kapha people to like the kapha food. That I don't really. There is something that talks in the Vedas about the mistake of the intellect, and I always wanted to learn more about it, because I went to the Maharishi school, and he was talking always about the pragya parad, which he was the mistake of the intellect, and I always this always goes in my mind, thinking why do we have that mistake? So
Yeah. Because
why
you
do we?
want, yeah, because like on some level, we talk a lot in the wellness industry about like intuitive eating and what feels right and all that, which is great. But then if your tendency is to like the food that isn't going to help you get grounded, you know? So it's like vata food is what? Like salads?
So salad,
Yeah.
yes, it's cold food, ice cream. It's everything that is more rough and difficult to digest. That the pitta people, we will talk about the pitta people. They have the metabolism, they have the fire to be able to digest this. But the cold people, already your hands are cold and your feet are cold, so you need to put warmth. Like right now, I could be. I have short sleeves, but if I am cold, what do? I go and put a sweater. and then I feel better immediately. So what is important is to listen to your body. Listen to your body. I feel cold. Then I need something warm. Don't eat something cold. But there is a tendency. So like, oh, I feel constipated. That's something that Vata people feel. That is the constipation. And a lot of people battle with it, battle with the constipation. So one of the things they like to do is eat things that are rough and dry. What happens with something that's rough and dry? So, like for example, if you take a raisin, that is so beautiful. To this example, a raisin or a prune, that actually things that are gonna help with your constipation if they are not dry. Because if you put a raisin and put it in a glass of water, it's gonna get plump. Yeah. But if you eat too much dryness and put too much dryness, it's going to take the water and it's going to make you more dry. So it's
Yeah.
going to create confusion. So if you are going to do any of the dry fruit, you have to make it, put it like soak it,
Soak it.
like for
Persians love to do that. Iranians
for
soak
Vata,
everything. Yeah.
yeah, for Vata people. So like Vata people should be the ones that should not be having dry cereal in the morning. Should be having like the beautiful rice cereal, like the one we make here at the spa. That is just make the brown rice and then we make it with soak the almonds and I put selenium. I put selenium. No, sorry, I put Brazil nuts to put some selenium to protect the thyroid because the selenium is something that you don't get from only from food. Then we put the cashews and then we put a little bit of walnuts. That also helps with the mind and the brain. That's why they look like a brain. So we blend all that and we put it in the rice, and that's an incredible. And then we put it like, for example, with every fruit that is in season. So like right now we're putting a lot of peaches. So when you come to Surya and you're doing a treatment or Panchakarma, we have the rice cereal with peaches for breakfast, and we do that while we do Panchakarma because it does help digest. So anything Ayurveda is very big on having people always to eat things that are cooked, because when they are cooked they are much easier for the body to metabolize and have a good transformation of the food in the body and having some more energy. But Vata people, they need to be more of that. Okay, so now Pitta people. So Pitta people, the way we see it is like people that tend to have more heat in the body. So these are the kind of people that go to the gym and they sweat profusely, and they tend to be having like red skin, or they tend to have rashes in their body, or they tend to have acid reflux. They tend to have high blood pressure because it's like, think about it, fire in the body. So and unfortunately these people love to eat spicy food, alcohol, coffee, and all these things. What you're going to do is going to aggravate more of that. So
Yeah.
those are the things. Again, I'm too hot, just take out the sweater and then you will feel good. And then so if the pizza people, they normally are blonde, they tend to have freckles like me, that I go to the sun, I get freckles immediately. That was since very little. I have freckles everywhere. So I have to be careful with that. I have to be careful. I'm Pitta and Vata, so I have to be careful with both of them to not have my Vata going because I tend to work a lot, and then not have my Pitta like. Luckily, I don't like anything spicy, so that makes it much easier. But I guess I just have, but I have to be careful with creating not too much heat in my body, and that's one of the amazing things. And then there is nature. There is the food that is created by nature when we need. Like for example, for the Pitta people, coconut is amazing. And if you think about coconut grows in in the Caribbean, yeah, and it's there all the time because they need to cool you down.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that just grows all year round to make you cool. And there's cilantro and the watermelon and the melon. Like right now, all these fruits are growing in the summer, but then in the winter, like we're starting to be right now finishing the summer and starting the winter. Now all these fruit vegetables are going to start growing because we need to be rooted because now the wind is coming. So we need something that is going to root us. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Kapha people are ruled by the water and the earth. They are very earthy. If you think people, they are like their bones are strong. Have you? Maybe you notice this with your kids that if you lift one, and they could be looking at the same, and maybe your friends' kids. If you lift one could be feel like you, it's light, but then you lift another one, they look the same size, and the
Yeah.
same. You lift it, and it's like whoa, it's heavy. Yeah,
Yeah.
so that means that that baby has more kapha.
Wow. That's how you can
Um,
tell.
yes, yes. And then you can see it also, the kapha people normally have big eyes. The white of the eyes is really white. The pitta people tend to have more yellow in the eyes, and the vata people tend to have more like closed, like small eyes. So the kapha people normally have beautiful oily hair, and there's thick hair. They are very sweet, very balanced. They are very calming. Those are the people that you want to kind of be like when you have in a meeting that is, or like normally if you think about it, most of the people that study psychology are people, they are more kapha because they are more calming, they are more like about a person. If you go to a therapist and that person is too like that, you are not going to feel calm. But if you go, normally therapists tend to have like this calmness in
Mm-hmm.
their way of talking and saying things. So the kapha people, they have to be careful because the tendency of the body is to gain weight and then to retain water. So they need to be more active. They need to just do more exercise. They need to move totally the opposite of the vata. They need to move too much. No, they need some more of the kapha to be able to be balanced. And then, as you can see in the examples that I'm saying on the vata and the pitta and the kapha. So if I'm doing too much vata, then I need things that are more kapha.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably something that you did. You needed to, in your case with the Hashimoto's, you needed to be like more, okay, I'm going to have breakfast at 8, I'm going to have lunch at 12, I'm going to have dinner at 6, I'm going to bed at between 9:30 and 10. Because when you start doing that, your body start being not scattered all over the way, and then you're probably, by then your hands and feet starting to be more warm and your body start to be more balanced.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're born, when you were made by your mom and your dad, that at that point, when the eggs and the sperm got together, at that point is when it's decided what is that you're going to be, and you will be that until the moment you die.
Wow. Okay.
So whether it's your vata pitta, pitta vata, vata kapha, kapha vata, there's just all the different kapha pitta, pitta kapha. It could be, or it could be vata pitta kapha. Could be, that is very rare to see a person that has the three of them in the pulse. You were born with this and you die with this. And then, so what we said, that is when the dosha is in balance. So when the vata or the pitta or the kapha is in balance, that's when we need to balance it. And that's when we do practice all the things that I'm telling you, like you did with your Hashimoto's, that you start being more regular, eating different things that you probably were not eating before, and just listening to your body. And that point, the body really receptible because we are part of nature, and that's the way we can make ourselves feel better.
So when you take someone's pulse, you're feeling what their constitution is like naturally their whole life, what they were born with. Then how do you know that it's what is unbalanced? Is it through the pulse still?
Let me show you. I made this form that I've been using for a long time. That one of my teachers, very thankful, taught me how to do it. Or many, because I have had many classes on pulse. So I have this. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay. So when I do this, and this like kind of half moons, what they mean is the Vata, the Pitta, and the Kapha. So when I take the pulse of someone, so I'm gonna do the Vata in this finger, which is divided in 5 different places. Then I do the Pitta, and then I do the Kapha. So whenever I feel it's more complicated. I'm trying to do it very easy. So this is divided in three: Vata, Pitta, Kapha, Vata, Pitta, Kapha, Vata, Pitta, Kapha. So whenever I feel the spike that is more in any of these places, at that point I decide what are you. So whatever I feel there, then I say, okay, this person is Vata, Pitta, Pitta, Vata, Pitta, Kapha, and they have on the poles I have 7 different levels where I look at. So then, how much I press is gonna tell me what part of the body I'm looking and what is the that I'm looking. So there, normally, if I'm gonna look at what is the imbalance, I'm gonna go more into the deeper levels because
Okay.
now, and then I can just find the deeper levels of imbalance, and then I will go and balance whatever is imbalance. And then when you go to all the different levels, then you do to the subdoshas, which is that's a little bit more complicated because it's the apana, the prana. It's
Oh
just
yeah.
more, and then you do that's so. But something that you can study, anybody can study this, so they can go to Ayurveda, being Ayurveda becoming now more known to everybody. Like 32 years when I started, I would say Ayurveda, and people were like, "What?"
Yeah.
Now it's great to say Ayurveda is this. Anyway, when you go through these different, so then I can look what is happening to your digestion, what is happening to your circulation, what is happening to your mind, what is happening to your thyroid. So many times I can just tell a person, "Oh, you're pregnant,"
Yeah.
or many times I can tell a person, you are having some problems with your digestion. And the beautiful thing that the body does is just tell us also what is happening to your body through your face. And the other thing that I do is through the tongue. So because of COVID, I had to really study the tongue and start learning the tongue. So I that's another way that I'm able to tell people, okay, what's going on with this? What are we doing with this? And then from there is the infinite beautiful herbs and all the different treatments that we do here at Surya. And that's one we recommend to do Panchakarma.
One of the main ingredients in our product line, saffron, has been proven over and over again in clinical double-blind placebo trials to be an effective form of treatment for depression, anxiety, and ADHD. Saffron has been used by many cultures for thousands of years for these purposes, and now the research is here to finally back it up, proving that plant medicines and ancient healing practices can actually be an effective alternative to pharmaceuticals. From caffeine-free latte powders to saffron baths and capsules, there's something for any modern woman looking for ancient healing. Again, that's code the FULLEST Podcast at checkout for 15% off. I hope you enjoy your new daily saffron ritual. So how often do you recommend Panchakarma?
So Panchakarma, Ayurveda recommends to do it at every change of the season.
Wow.
Obviously, people cannot afford it because it's expensive, because you have two people working on you all the time. And then the treatments are between 3.5 to 4 hours. But the people that can do it, there's people that come and do it every change of the season.
I know you launched a program for home, but how long, if someone is going to come, you recommend like 3 days at least, or what's the like minimum amount?
I will take whatever because I know it will be beneficial for the body no matter what. But what I would recommend is for you to do 2 or 3 weeks, which is the
2 to 3 weeks
Vata.
each change of season. That's amazing. I love it. I want to do that.
Crazy, but most people don't do it. So what I normally recommend, most people come to do it once or twice a year. But being one of the things that since I graduated, I wanted to my purpose, it was to really get to what I have today, a place where I can show Ayurveda to people, to anybody, and to be able to practice Ayurveda for anyone.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. But because maintaining this and having the treatments and paying the therapies and the oils and everything is very expensive, it's too hard for me to say, okay, everyone come and do it. They cannot afford it. So it's still in my heart going, and for many years I wanted to make this more available for anyone. So I decided to do the Panchakarma at home. So we're gonna actually we launched it already, and in the fall, we're doing the second one. So we're trying to do it every change of the season,
Okay.
where people can do this at home. So we give them the whole package. We give them the whole package of whatever, there's all the things that you need. First, they have a consultation, and in the consultation, say, okay, you need to do this and this and this, and these are the treatments we're gonna do. And then we'll teach, and then we'll be supported by other therapists that are helping me with this to go through do the Panchakarma at home. So we do that for 7 days, 5 or 7 days. And that's what normally people do, 5 or 7 days. So people do 3 days. I really discourage people from doing 3 days because it's like, think about, you are going to start cleaning your house, and then you start taking the broom and you start moving all going in all the corners and cleaning, and then now you get to put all the trash all together. You need the thing to pick up the trash and put it, and then put it in the garbage. Yeah. So now I feel like when the third day, and this is like so magical also, the third day when people actually, all these symptoms starts to come more emotions. I have seen people here like, it's great, and then they go from the third to the fourth day to the fifth day. It's just like the third and the fourth days when all these emotions, because emotions also make us sick, having all
Yeah.
that
Yeah. And
there.
it's all stored in the body and it's all, yeah, coming to light in the
Yeah.
process.
So when we do 3 days is when I feel like things are gonna start to come out, but then there is not the continuous process to help these things to come out unless the person really dedicated and then stays in the diet and then continue doing some of the treatments itself in the house, then it's great. But otherwise, I recommend to do 5 or 7. So we are here to support the body, to move these toxins out of the body. And then, so how incredible, because it's just incredible how Panchakarma helps with this and getting all the toxins out, because our body is not made, our tissues are not made to live in the toxic environment that we live.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it's important to eat organic. It's important to eat with the seasons. It's important to listen to your body. What is happening to you at that point? And then it's just so simple. Like for the Vata people, for example, we have I made that's why I made the oil so people can just do it at home. So for the Vata people, I have the calming oil. So and it smells really delicious, and and what it does, it just helps to calm the Vata, because if you think about it, you have done treatments here. When you receive the oil and then you put the oil, your body just really melts and relax and lets
Yeah.
go of everything. And then when you get out of the treatment, you feel, what happened to me? I feel so different. And it's like almost when I first experienced my first Abhyanga and Shirodhara, which is the forehand massage and the oil on the forehead. And that's what it made me study Ayurveda. Because the feeling that I had, it was like, this is what I said, I don't remember when was the last time that I felt like this.
I mean, unbelievable. I had crazy, crazy experience when I was doing it at your spa too before proper. Like I was speaking to my son during the Shirodar, like as if I had known him before I ever met him. And I had this like amazing experience just through, having oil applied on me and on my body and my head. Like that's amazing.
It is something, because look at this. This medicine was cognized. It was not. It's not. I don't. I think modern medicine is really amazing and have helped me so much in many things to be able to, because in this time when I talked at the beginning, when Ayurveda was coming and everything was done through enlightenment and through seer and through meditation, when they did this, they did only through this. It didn't exist modern medicine by then. There was no microscopes, there was no laboratories that would look at your blood and tells you this. And so now we have this technology that is there, that it helps me so much. But at the same time, it's just so incredible that this knowledge that is there for so long, it's just there. in the tip of the hands for everyone to become so much better. And it's just trying to not let your body get to those after 5 6 or 7 states of disease. Yes, because it's there, but medicine is there. The way that modern medicine looks is more from symptoms. So when you have the symptoms, okay, I'm going to give you this medicine.
Yeah,
But
like you were saying, it's stage 4 and up, right? Like what you're saying?
yes, yes, but and then they give you, here, take this medicine, but they don't look at the root of what is happening. And that's what is so beautiful that happened to you, because you start looking at the root of why I'm having Hashimoto's.
It changed my life.
Yeah. So when you discover of why I have this or that, just in your case Hashimoto's, but it's many other things. What is it that and then and emotionally too, because I'm sure Hashimoto's is also about
Not speaking your
communication
truth.
and
Yeah.
speaking the truth, and Ayurveda is all about speaking the truth. It's just the truth. And so not being able to get this, I don't know, for you this is probably too personal, but not be able to express what it was happening to you, it was making your thyroid going like this, and not being able, on your chakra being blocked, and not be able to but I guess you work on that,
I mean, I have a
and here you are.
podcast now. Like you know what I mean? Like I was afraid of ever like speaking to in public or whatever. I have a podcast now. I have so it's like I think that it's all of the things like I didn't the natural preventative stuff that you're talking about, but I also worked I think emotionally is it's just so emotional. So much of what we're experiencing. It's so mental and emotional and that's why I love Ayurveda. And I mean, I studied yoga, but I then was just so fascinated about Ayurveda. And I never went on to study it, but I went on to meet you and you've spent so much of your life supporting people, yes, one on one, but also like you have that booklet you made and the course and like you're now doing Panchakarma at home for people to learn. And I completely align with, everything that you do and believe in all of it because I believe that part of like what my learning process was like learning to be my own advocate. And that's essentially what you're teaching people too. It's like teaching people to understand their body and to be so in tune that like what you're saying, I didn't know before I had those like cold hands and feet and all those things. What if I had known before like something's off? Because I'm so wired and this and then there's like life stages. Like you and I worked postpartum with my son, right? And I think you were saying like postpartum pitta's really off, right? Is it pitta or vata? Vata.
But because remember, you just have your baby, so what you need, movement to push that baby out. Your body needs to go put all whatever is moving, get the muscles. You just think about how miracle, it's a miracle what happens, what the body does, expanding and having that baby coming through that canal and then closing again and come back, and then you come back to have your body like a normal body, like you never were pregnant, and then you have this space, and then now so you have movement, which is the air, and then you have the space, and now the space is not there anymore because the baby's out, but now you have to put all your body together again. Yeah. And that's why it's so important in mother baby, why we do mother baby. I did it with my kids for 40 days with Pam and 40 days with Christopher, where I had someone come and they cooked for me and they did the massage every day. If moms will understand what this does to your body and you experience it, what I get to testify about this is like, I had my kids, I did that. One of the things that one of the things that I can mention, it was like, don't go up and down the steps, don't walk, try to stay, eat food that is cooked, nothing that is raw, while these 40 days, because these 40 days are very important, and they are so magical that the linea negra, that the black line that you put there, literally, and it's so beautiful every time that I went to all the moms, how it was there. And around 35 to 40, this line just disappears. That's to tell you, That's really tells you is like, okay, something is really magical that is happening here, and something is like so truth about being taken care of yourself and your body after you have a baby,
Hmm.
because you are bleeding for 40 days, so you should be taken care of. So what I wanted to say about the space and not going up and down the steps, and why we bind the stomach. And Ayurveda was always about, but it's about binding, and the Chinese philosophy is the same thing, to bind and put everything together to support, because now we have that space there, and it's going to take some time for the muscles, for diastasis to stop, and then to get the muscles and come back and be all together. So you, those 40 days are so important for that. And if you, and what I want to testify is that being doing that with my kids, I was able to come back to my body, and when we do it with the moms at that, and to be able to have this tightness again. Because when you don't do this, when you get to my age, then you have that problem. When you start having bladder problems that you don't cannot have inconsistent, you cannot hold your urine, all these things about, all the urine starts to fall, and it's because you didn't take care of yourself during those 40 days.
Yeah. And what's so amazing too is, yes, it's a, in this modern day and our lifestyles, it becomes a privilege to do that because of the way that we've created and set up our lifestyles. But if we're able to slow it down and we're able to make space, it's amazing. And what happened with me was the woman that supports me at my house and comes to clean my house, she was telling me, Nikki, I did this when I had my kids. Like, and she was like, it's not anything that's considered privileged in my family. My family came and they supported me. And this is what our culture does. And she's Hispanic and she knew as well. Like, it was just this beautiful thing of, my in-laws had come into town and they were just kind of like, oh, people just have these ideas. I think they didn't do it, or they feel that it's a privileged thing. But then it was so beautiful and important for me to hear this woman that comes to my house that's helping support me saying she had that same experience with both of her sons. And
Yeah.
um, and same, like, I'm Iranian, so I have that background of having that sense of culture and knowing what our culture has done, same with binding and all that. But you're the one that's really bringing this to light, really sharing this information, really offering these services to people. And that's my number one thing, that it just like what you said to me, I was so lucky to have met you when I was pregnant with Truth. And before I was showing, and of course you took my pulse and you knew that I was pregnant. But yeah, that's what I invested in. We buy so much postpartum, not for postpartum for our mother, for the mother, but we buy so much crap, but we don't invest in what the mom really needs. And I lucked out because as you know, like both of my kids ended up with medical conditions and it was a mess. I would have been a complete disaster had I not had the level of support that I set myself up with you and your team. I don't know how I would have gone through that time. And I really felt level headed and in balance to be able to approach this really important decisions that I needed to make as a new mom. And so I really love everything that you do, everything that you offer, all the education you provide. And it's just so beautiful. And I'm really excited to kind of follow along with this Panchakarma at home, because there are so many people that, they can't fly to LA to come have the experience if they have the means even, and take 2 weeks off and leave their families and all that. But I'm curious, like, so what about Bastis and all the other stuff? Like, are people doing this at home? For those of you listening, like, Basti is an enema, an oil enema, or I guess herbal enema. Like, are these things that you're going to guide people to do at home, these treatments?
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
We're going to prepare all the oils. So, like, I have all the different oils.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this, the Vata, the Pitta, and the Kapha oil. So that means the cooling, the warming, and the calming. So those are there, so people can just buy them and use them. But in this case, I'm making the oil like I did for you, specifically for you. So what we're gonna do is, after the consultation, I'm gonna make the oil and then we're going to send everything, the enema bags, and then there's videos on how to do it. We're going to send the herbs to so they can prepare and decoct the oil and put the oil and all the different. It's different for everybody, so it's not the same thing. Then we're going to do my daughter, which does incredible sound baths and sound
Oh,
breaths. We're going to do, yes, does she does the sound breath here at Surya. So she will do sound breath for people, and we do this the breathing part with Kalen, my assistant, and Pam. So we'll do that online so people can be in there and do the breathing, because that's important to be able to get the emotional part too in there. So they will be taught how to do the Abhyanga at home, and then what to do then after you do all this. So then how to do the Basti is not that difficult, and it's just so amazing. So we will send everything, and then we'll be there to support everyone to be able to do it. And hopefully it's just gonna be help a lot of people and bring Ayurveda to many homes. I hope that.
so what's the price point on it? Because you're offering them all of the oils and everything, right? And the food?
Yeah. So this is not. Yeah, there is the, but they have to make it themselves. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's going to be the dal, the rice. They have to buy the vegetables themselves, and so the oils, the enemas. I made this space to put in the forehead to be able to calm down, so we cannot do the shirdara. We're doing the sun breath. The cost of that. So we have. I wanted to make it to three different. So the one is basically for people that cannot, that very difficult for them to do it. So it's about 800. Don't quote me on the price, but it's
Yeah, yeah.
between 800 and 850. And the second price is like 1,000, and the third price is 1,250, which means that the money that we go from the people that are 1,250 goes for people that cannot afford.
That's
So it
so
would be a
nice.
kind of
Yeah.
program that also will help people that cannot afford it to do it, they can do it. So it kind of banks itself. So then we can help more people to be able to do it. So we can send all the ingredients and everything we need for people. Yeah.
Wow. And then when you do it at home with them, is it 2 weeks like you recommend, or it's the 5 to 7 days?
No, they're gonna do the home prep like you did it, which is the preparation of the body to be able to move all the toxins where they have the ghee for 4 days and the castor oil. So we have that is that I've been doing it for so long that is easy. And then just if they need support, we have all the people to support it that. But then when they start doing the Panchakarma, then it's gonna be every day. We're gonna meet with them in a group session with everybody and the people that. So it's great because you're gonna have a community of people
Yeah.
also doing this. They can share what is happening. Oh, I did this and this was wrong and this was like this, and so we can help everyone to be able to do it and be able to help themselves.
What age like do you recommend starts this? Like, did you start to incorporate doing stuff like this with your kids?
I started doing Ayurveda to them since they were in my stomach because I
Yeah.
was very, very, very careful what I ate. But then when they were born, they have massage, they have a Abhyanga done for the first, at least both of them, for the first 18 months. And then they start running everywhere and it's just too difficult to do it, but I still do massages. But when then after they go to puberty, then the kids can start doing panchakarma. And I consider the kids that are like that young, that they get to be introduced to this knowledge in such an early age. They are very lucky. Or like people are between the 20s, between 20s and 30s, that they're able to start doing and being more conscious about the food and everything they put in their body. It is
Mhm.
life changing. So when
Yeah.
they get older, then they're gonna be well. It's not like I don't. I always eat perfect. No, I don't always eat perfect. Sometimes I'm traveling, or sometimes I do want to eat. I'm in something, and someone made this incredible pastry, and then I just eat it. It's not. I'm not.
Yeah.
Ayurveda is not. It's okay to do that. It's okay to let your body eat some of those things that are not the perfect thing to eat every day. It's not okay for a weekend. Occasionally it's fine and the body can take it. But most of the time, be more aware. What is that you need? What is that you need? What are the, if it's more vata, more pitta, or more kapha, and or more cooling, or calming, or more warming, and see what is happening to your body. And when you listen to that, then you get older and you don't have the arthritis, you don't have, there's just so many things that now I feel sorry for the young kids right now with all the computers and all the radiation from all the internet, all the EMFs, because that affects your nervous system and it's going to affect their nervous system. And if you can see, like when my kids, my kids went to Waldorf, so they were not into computers. They were not into having, they went when they would have a play date, it was to go and play with toys and wooden toys, and I had a toy store where everything was made out of wood, and the acorn store, that was a store that I started when they were little.
You
And
started
having,
Acorn Store?
yeah,
Are you serious? I love that store. Oh my gosh. And I go every time I'm at Surya Spa.
yes,
How
I started that store. All that painting, all that, the lisure, I did that.
Oh my gosh. Of course you did.
And what all the toys are, I made that. I made all that. I made it when my kids were in school because I wanted to be with them. And so I worked and I made the store. Then Ellen West bought the store from the school and she owns the store now.
Wow. Wow.
That changed because that pushed me to be more into Ayurveda because, yeah. Anyway, so having the kids being exposed to so much computers and so much EMFs, and you can see like my kids are 27 and 29 now. uh, but you see that the next generation are starting to, you start seeing more ADHD, ADD, all that, and I think it's the influence of all this, and not having people earthing. Not, you need to earth link. You need to go to have the kids and go on
Nature.
and go for hikes,
Yeah.
nature, be with nature, walk without shoes, be because this is what is going to help with that. Because
Mhm.
otherwise, the mind gets too affected by the vata
Mhm.
from all this.
Oh my gosh, Marta, I just love you. I love talking to you, and I am so grateful to know you personally and to continue to be able to connect with you. Please let people listening know how they can connect with you, and anyone interested in doing the at home program or coming to the spa as well. Let people know how they can contact you guys.
Okay, so it's just suryaspa.com. And then you can just go on the website. You can do the Panchakarma program there. We have all of our products. I have the beautiful face oil that people really like it. The collagen cream, which is like really what makes
My
your
favorite.
it's like really amazing. And then we have all the oils. We have um, uh, everything is there to be able to feel amazing and don't suffer in older stages of life and even younger. Yeah, the mother babies there also. You can go in there. You can buy gift certificates. That's something that I'm doing right now. It's a new thing that I put as a gift certificate for new moms. So people can buy the gift certificate if you want to give you $100 just to put for going us to go to for us to go to your house and do mother baby. So you can do that. You can buy gift certificates if you want to give someone to do add for someone to do Panchakarma. So it will be easy to do that. And we also now we have a program where people can it's something like Affirm where you can actually do payments.
Wow.
If you cannot pay everything, so then you can just do payments, and so that would be a very easy way, yeah, for people to afford everything. Yeah.
That's so awesome. Well, thank you for joining us. We love you, and we'll chat with you soon.